This video is going to change your 3-woods forever. You see, most players have never been shown the right way to hit their 3-wood, and what the result is a very low shot that doesn't get up in the air, doesn't go very far, and even if it does hit the green, it's just kind of rolling around. It doesn't really stop where you want it to stop. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take some of this foot spray powder. This is called Dr. Scholl's Odor X with Sweat Max technology, and the reason I'm mentioning this is because this one gets a really nice white powder on there so you can see exactly where you hit. And you can buy special powder that marks up the club face. It's like 15 bucks a can and it's no better than that. So just get the foot spray powder with the Sweat Max technology and it shows up really, really white. Now what's happening here is we think that we need to get this ball up in the air. We get our weight on the inside of our right foot. We feel like we're gonna hit up. We've all been told to kind of sweep the ball off the ground. We've been told to kind of get behind it for power. And what's happening there is we're actually almost hitting the ground behind the golf ball. Our weight feels like it's on the inside of this right foot. And then from there, our club is going up into the golf ball and we hit it thin. So when I do this, I'm gonna feel that same thing. Head well behind the golf ball, my weight on the inside of my right foot at impact, and I'm gonna feel like I'm trying to get this ball up in the air. Let's go ahead and try it out. That was a good example of it. Thin shot. So I tried to swing a little bit slower, more of an average 3-wood swing speed. My club went 84 miles an hour. I only carried it 147. And if you look at my launch angle, it was 7.7, so a very low launch angle. Now, if you look at this divot, or this mark on the club, very low on the face. You can see only half the ball roughly was on the face. And that's because I was trying to hit up into it and my club was moving up and hit the bottom of the club when I made contact. Now what I want to do different here, I don't want that weight on the inside of my right foot. I want to feel like as I start down, I get the weight on the middle of my left foot. And then from there, I take a divot. So from here, listen to the sound that the club makes when I try to hit up on it. All right, I'm not hitting the ground at all. Listen to the sound it makes when I get my weight left and I try to actually hit down and get a divot here. That's what I want it to sound like when we're hitting a 3-wood. If I was outside on grass, that would have taken a pretty good sized divot. Now here's the reason it goes higher. Most people don't realize just how different a 3-wood is. The top half of your 3-wood has a lot of loft. So if normally your 3-wood has 15 degrees of loft is what it says on the sole, if you hit high on the face, it's more like 18, 19, 20 degrees loft. If you hit low on the face like we did there, it's more like 10 or 12 degrees loft. So the face is actually rolled to make the shots better, and it helps you. But I need to get on the top half of the face if I want to hit it hard. So I'm going to try to see if I can swing around 85 miles an hour again, so not that fast. But let's see what happens to the carry distance once I get my weight left, take a divot, and actually hit a little higher on the club face. We'll see it's going to go a lot higher ball flight too. Let's give it a whirl. Let's see, I may have swung a little too hard, so I cheated there a little bit, made too much of a normal swing. We'll see the launch angle went up a little bit. The carry distance went way up, went all the way up to 210. And you can see here, even though I hit it slightly off the heel, this is exactly where you want to hit it on the face, a little above the center of gravity. Most players, when I look at their 3-wood, they don't have one mark there. Everything is low on the face, and you never get the great shots. Let's go ahead and give one, let's go all out on one here. All right, so let's give it a whirl here. All right, so let's actually, before I do that, let me spray on a new coat here, and I'll have my video guy go ahead and click the button to get a new fresh screen on there. And let's see if we can rip one as far as we can here. So now I'm gonna make a full swing, get it high on the face, and let's see if we can give it a real rip. There we go. Nice little power fade, a little more open than I like. I caught that one slightly on the toe, so I would consider that to be a pretty big miss hit. So it went off the toe, that caused it to go a little bit more right. We can see the carry distance was 240, 260 total, and I'm starting to get that higher on the face. That was actually a pretty big miss hit. So that shows you that if you take a divot, even your bad shots are still gonna get up in the air and go a little bit. If I would have mishit it that much and half the ball on the bottom of the club like I did on my first one, that ball would have gone absolutely nowhere. All right, so let's go ahead and give it one more rip, see if we can get one nice and solid. There we go, right on the sweet spot there. Dead straight, 258 carry, 280 total distance. And again, actually I was a little bit on the hill there. You can see how that one is still higher on the face. These are all good. Top half of the club, you're golden. You're gonna hit it a mile. Bottom half of the club, it doesn't matter if you hit it right in the center of the club, it's just not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna be low. It's just not gonna be a good shot. So make sure you get the weight left, hit down on it, take a divot like you would with an iron. Any club that you're hitting off the ground, whether it's 3-wood to sand wedge, I want to be hitting down on all of them, taking slight divots with all those. The only reason you get a bigger divot with a sand wedge is because it has an angle of the face and it just cuts up more of a divot. You're almost coming down pretty close to the same angle. You're only hitting down on a sand wedge or a pitching wedge very slightly more, which creates a little slightly bigger divot there too. Now here's one thing that most players don't know. You've probably heard, if you watched my videos before, you've heard me talk about the anti-roll method. And if you try to roll the club face or roll your forearms to square the club face, how that messes everything up. And you actually want to get the club from the inside and square it up with your wrist just like the pros. Now one of the biggest questions I get when talking about this technique, players love it, but they wonder, does it work with woods too? In one of the videos that I'm doing this, I'm hitting an iron, so they assume it only works with irons. It's actually the exact same technique that I would use with my 3-wood. Every single club in the bag, I'm going to do this anti-roll method, and I'm going to share it with you and teach you exactly how to do it in your game so that you can play your best golf. And all you have to do to see that video is go ahead and click one of the cards that pops up here on the screen. If you don't see that, don't worry. Go down to the description below, click the link there, and you'll get instant access. I'm going to walk you through step by step some of the biggest errors if you don't do the anti-roll method correctly, and then I'm going to teach you the right way to do it. Let's go ahead and get started. Here's the bottom line. If you've been taught to roll the club in the early downswing, that causes the shaft to get steep, and that steep club causes all your problems. It causes you to hit it way behind the big hitters and way inconsistent with your quality of strikes. So you're in the tall grass and the trees and the hazards all day long. Now the great news is this. There's really only 2 pieces that you need to know to fix all these problems. The first one is we need to learn the proper way to square up the club face. Instead of rolling the forearms and getting steep, there's another way that the pros do this. Once you learn this right way to square up the club face, then you can shallow out from the inside and everything starts to fit together. Now I'm going to teach you this right now in what I call the anti-roll method. You may also hear this called the motorcycle move or the tour twist, but let's walk through exactly how to do that. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and go kind of in the last parallel in the downswing. So here, I want my hips to go ahead and be opening up. I want my club to be parallel with the ground, and I want my hands to be in front of my right thigh. Now, when I take my grip, you're going to notice that when I do this, the club face is basically straight up and down. So if I'm looking at it from this angle, you'll see the face is straight up and down, and my logo of my glove is pointed out in front of me. Now from there,